and burn the hot dogs. Alec lost the car keys. James said, boys, relax, we got the whole pine of forest leaves. Cooler full of cans, plastic cups and bad advice. Then that branch snapped behind us, those eyes, not from a deer, that's for sure tonight. Bigfoot stole our beer by the campfire. Hey! Left big tracks and a half-eaten s'more. Tore through the tents like a drunk barn choir. Slammed one burp, then he wanted some more. If anyone asks why the cooler's all clear, tell them Bigfoot stole our beer.
Afternoon, guys, how are we doing? Okay, so what we're going to be doing today, as the weather's getting a little bit warmer now, so not quite so bad, so I figured it's going to be one of my last chances to use a hot tent. So I figured we'll bring out the hot tent, bring out the stove, cook a good bit of food, just generally have a good time. In terms of the others, it's just myself for today. In terms of the others, the Fez is still in Morocco in the Atlas Mountains. He's doing his own thing out there. We'll try and get some footage of that if we can. Other than that, it's just one of those things, unfortunately, with life. People are at work and I've got the time. So it is starting to rain a little bit. We're going to get the tent set up and then we'll sit down, we'll have a cup of coffee, discuss a few things. There's a few things about Tommy Sleep Out I want to bring up, and obviously just generally have a look at the sort of things we've got, have a look at the equipment, and yeah, we'll see where we go from there. Okay. Okay guys, so I've quickly thrown you guys under a tarp as it's raining pretty good now, and obviously you're getting quite wet. We're going to bang this tent up and then we'll go from there. Right guys, we do need to get this tent up now. As you can see, this weather is really going for it. So this is one of several hot tents I own. This is a Naturehike. Now it's a bit of a weird one, this tent, because obviously it has quite a few different names depending on where you get it from. I'm sure there is an official one. So you can buy official, well supposedly official, if you believe that sort of thing, Naturehike stuff through places like AliExpress. So if you do that, this tent has a name or a serial number or something like that. The same applies as if you go somewhere in Amazon, you actually find the same tent with a different name. Now specifically why that is, I'm not 100% sure. What I will do is display the version I've got, and I will put the information for the version I've got on the screen, as this is one of my favourite hot tents I've got. So obviously, as I said, I do have a few. I think the reasoning behind this one is actually reasonably straightforward. That it is actually it's quite user friendly. It's really reasonably easy to use, easy to set up. It's not particularly complicated. So we will get this put up despite this terrible weather. Well, I say terrible weather, it's a lie really, isn't it? We all know that, because when I'm sat inside here in 10 or 15 minutes, I'll be one of the happiest people there is. It's just how it works, isn't it? Complain about the rain until we're sat in the tent. Then we love the rain. Oops. Might help if I got the pole in properly, wouldn't it? There we go. So, as I said, I do own a few different hot tents. No, you're done now. Don't do it together. So the gain of this tent, folks, is it has coloured tabs. So on the end of the bolts, you'll find, if I can find them, come on, there we go, some black and silver tabs, and they correspond to the colour at the end of the pole. So far you look like a you've got no clue what you're doing. It looks the inside's covered in dirt. Fucking good job I've got a bloody hot stove. Eat it, this is a swamp. There she is, folks, I won't lie. I'm covered in mud, it's raining ridiculous amount, but you know, it could be worse. So we will finish getting this put up and then see where we go from there. There we go, folks, it is freestanding, which I like. We'll get a peg down and then we're all good. So I do have a varying bag of tent pegs here, because obviously over the years I've bought replacements, I've swapped out pegs, things like that. However, the Naturehike does come with small rectangular black, say Naturehike. Are quite sharp on the uplift. They seem to do the job. Quite lightweight. So we'll get a peg down, we'll get the stove in. I may or may not have to guide out, we'll see. It's supposed to rain, obviously. It's there's not, wind isn't supposed to be too bad, but we all know how things change. So I may have to guide out during the night, or later on. However, what I will say is where I am is quite enclosed, this bit of land, so I don't foresee massive issues with that. As like I say, I am quite enclosed here. I appreciate it's a little bit difficult to see obviously what's going on at the moment, folks, from where you are. I will give you a walk around of this shortly, as soon as I've got it up. And I've got the stove in. We'll get it a bit warmer, get everything drying out, and we'll take a look round. But for now, we'll get it set up. There we go, folks. Obviously, next step's the stove. I mean, this is a pretty decent sized tent, especially for one person. It does have a collapsible vestibule, which I do like, which I'm going to pop up now, and then we'll show you what I mean. Whoa, that's interesting. Nearly got me. I think we're going to lift that vestibule up just a little bit higher. Stave off some of the worst of it coming this way. I may or may not keep that up, but we'll worry about that in a minute once we've got the stove in. Whoa, hello. That needs looking at. So as you've seen, guys, my stove is an original outbacker. It's a Pioneer portable. Now, the portable to me is a little bit, well, I mean, I suppose it is technically portable as it does pack down, but it does weigh more than 10 kilograms, so it is on the large side. It's pretty big. I mean, it's it's roughly 50 centimeters by 30 centimeters, so it's quite a large stove. It's not like the sort of collapsible Molly or the sort of collapsible One Tigris. They're sort of, the small steel boxes that you can assemble. It's nothing like those at all. This is quite heavyweight, but very very durable. That said, I've had this a long time. I mean, I originally bought it for use with things like the Rock Fortress, the big 6 or 8 man family tents, and obviously I've used it since. It's seen a lot of hours. So, I mean, it is good for what it is. It was available through original outbacker. As I said, it was called a Pioneer, and I believe it cost about £100 mark. So, I mean, again, not the most expensive, but it is very durable for what it is. Okay guys, so we are going to be making some spicy chicken flatbreads. So we've got some jalapeno and honey flatbread chili. These are red pumpkin chilies, not too spicy but not too bad. Spring onion, bit of cheese, and a personal favourite of mine, Old Bay seasoning. What we're going to do, we're going to get the chicken on the stove, get that going, and we'll add these things in as we go. So I'm going to add a bit of oil. Right, we'll get that flattened down, we'll give that a minute to get going. While that's going, we're going to prep the veg. I'm going to cut up this spring onion, then we add it in. Now, given all the knives I've got, this may seem like a strange knife to be using for cooking. There's actually a reason behind that. Years ago, I was using a sort of, I cleaned it obviously, but I'd used a sort of bushcraft knife. And the issue I found with the bushcraft knife, other than it was the fact it had a large point in the end, which this does not. Now don't get me wrong, this is incredibly sharp, but without the point on the end. We got this a while back from Go Outdoor. I choose to use it for cooking for a really actual simple reason. Is, as I said, years ago I was cooking the bushcraft knife. I slipped. Obviously now I let go of the knife, which you normally would do. Don't get me wrong, nobody was injured or anything like that, but I let go of the knife with a pointed tip, then proceeded to go straight through the ground streets of the town. Obviously causes some problems. So, punctured a big hole in the ground street of the tent was a massive problem. Whereas, as you can see, with this one having a round tip, no problem. More than sharp enough cutting, but if you drop it, it means your tent, your ground sheet, whatever it is you're doing, is perfect. It's going to be perfectly fine. Which is, maybe it's only me. I mean, I dare say there are a lot of people where you've never been cooking inside a tent. You've never dropped a knife to hold the tent. It's never been a problem for you, so obviously why would it? But it's a personal choice of mine. I simply prefer having that there, just because, to forgive a bit of this, I am on a wicked slope. Not an issue from the bed, because obviously it's adjustable, but this, unfortunately, this little baby table I've got is not. I'm going to dice up these peppers a bit smaller. Sorry guys, I'm aware my hands don't appear to be very clean, however they have been wiped off with antibacterial, and it is only me eating it, and I'm willing to take that chance. If I'd got other people here with me, kids, fairs, things like that, I'd have a different approach obviously, but this is only me. I've done this a lot of times, so not an issue. There we go, so some basic sliced up pepper, we're going to pop that in with our spring onion. We're going to give that, and now we need to season the chicken. As I say, my personal favourite of mine, Old Bay seasoning. Now, this isn't really something for everyone. It is an acquired taste, it's something I personally enjoy. We'll get that on the chicken. Okay, right, as you can see, the chicken is browning off nicely. Now, this is purely a personal thing for me. But I do pre-cook most of my chicken. So basically, for example, this chicken I'm technically purely just reheating. There's a simple reason for that. is I do not, under any circumstances, it's not I don't trust myself, I cook plenty of times at home. The issue is I do not want to be out here under the circumstance of having the problem of food poisoning. So I say this is to taste. If you've not ever tried this, sell it in Morrison's and a few other places. I'll tell you what's in it in a minute, but it's a personal favourite. I recommend it for chicken and rice, chicken flatbreads, things like that. Anything of that nature, I do recommend the Old Bay. It's quite a potent sauce, so as I say, personal preference for what you need or how much you like. Give that a few minutes to cook down. We'll see where we are. Right guys, a few of you probably wondering why it is that I actually pre-cook the chicken, because obviously you could cook it out here fine, no problem. It's simply a personal preference, personal thing of mine, purely just because we were out a few years ago now, but it sort of stuck with me. You'll understand why in a moment. We were out years ago, we were doing the Three Peaks in Yorkshire, so in the Borough of Pennygent, Mernside, that sort of thing. And we were staying in the local caravan because unfortunately we couldn't get in at the campsite. It's just the wrong time of year, things like this. We were staying at a local caravan park. We got up early, ready to do it. So it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'll be honest, I wasn't very awake at this point. I'd literally just rolled out the sack, and I was presented with a sausage butty by the Fez. Now, I'll be honest, like I say, I wasn't awake. But anyway, this was a highly suspect sausage butty. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the guy. I back him up to the end of the earth, but he is culinary inept, let's put it that way. This guy cannot cook worth a damn. And alarm bells should have been ringing anyway, but obviously he was trying to be nice. I wanted to accept a nice gesture. It was very early. You see where this is going. Yeah, I ended up with eating the best part of this suspicious sausage butty. Well, it's 10 to get weather test. You can say that again. Right. Anyway, back to this sausage butty. Yeah, I ended up eating this suspicious sausage butty, and it didn't sit well. But we tried. We went on the hike anyway. Yeah, let's cut to the crux of it. The crux of it is I ended up throwing up over a gate halfway up Pennygent because he'd poisoned me with a suspicious sausage butty, and the entire day was wasted. He also made one for Roach. Roach was equally green, and yeah, he wasn't sick, fortunately enough, but he was equally green, and we had to come back down, and the entire day ended up a bust over a suspicious sausage sandwich. So since then, I've either done my own cooking, or in this case, for example, I batch cook chicken at home. I find it's just more straightforward, especially when you're cooking for kids, you've got jobs, things going on. It's just simply easier. But yeah, right, we'll get back to our food now and see how the chicken's getting on. Here we are, right, back to our chicken. This is looking lovely. It's sticking a little bit now, so it's a good sign that chicken's done. We'll get that out. So there we go. Just going to quickly toast these flatbreads. You're not going to want long. I don't have any tongs, so forgive me. It's going to be the old knife and the bottle opener. We'll need the bottle opener later. Oh, I don't stick. Come on. There we go. There we go. That'll do it. Good. Put that on the side. Not bad, that guy's looking good. Okay, guys, there we go. So we're just going to put a bit of this on the flatbread. I would ordinarily be making more of these, but as I said, it is just myself. So it's going to be what it's going to be. Here we go. Looking good. Got that to one side. Okay, so now we're going to add a bit of cheese. These collapsible tubs from Lidl, I actually recommend these. So they pack flat. You don't need them. Now I'm not going to use all these cheese because we're going to need quite a bit of this for breakfast in the morning. So we'll get to that later. I have also got a personal favourite again, ranch. Love this stuff. I picked up a taste for it when I was over in the States years ago. You don't tend to see it much around here, but as I say, personal preference. Put a bit of ranch on. Looking good. I should put a bit of salad in it. Shouldn't have a bit more salad, maybe a bit of lettuce, something like that. And there we go, guys. Not bad at all. Just shows really a bit of thought ahead. You don't necessarily need to come into the woods and eat pot noodle. I mean, I'm not going to criticise anybody who does, but yeah, the years of eating pot noodle are a little bit behind me, really. Well, no, not that's a lie, isn't it? We both know that. But yeah, a little bit of I prefer a little bit of decent food. Let's put it that way. So obviously I've got these flatbreads just here. So obviously, I'll be honest, I'm going to eat this. And I'll catch up with you in a bit. I'm not going to film me eating this because let's face it, nobody wants to see that. I'll catch up with you in a little bit. We'll get a drink, we'll talk about the temp, talk about the stove, obviously weather permitting, but we'll go outside, have a little fire outside and see where we go from there. Okay guys, so I thought we'd have a look chat about the sleep system. Mine's really simple. One Tigris cockpit on the bottom. This is the collapsible Super Gris. No problems at all, it's very sturdy. Yeah, it's comfortable. I use a One Tigris mat. It says a 5R rating. Again, it's done me fine. No problems at all, summer, winter, anything like that. I'll put both links on the screen for the bed, the mats. Sleeping bag of mine is really simple. It's a ex-British military Arctic sleeping bag. Nice and warm. That's the basic gist of it. It's good quality. It's hardware. It is very warm. All right, the pack size is quite big. Again, this is a personal preference really. The sleeping bags. There's lots and lots of sleeping bags. Purely personal preference as to whatever you like. The pillow. Now, the pillow is a little bit of a guilty pleasure of mine. Purely just because. So this pillow it actually comes from Go Outdoors. So it has a strap just here. That strap, what it does is go all the way underneath. So this is fixing the pillow to the bed with the mat in between and the bag. So everything's nice and simple. It doesn't roll about, it doesn't slide about, even on an incline. And the pillow itself is nice quality. It's fleecy. It's got a slightly more furry back, so it depends which you prefer. Slightly more sort of velour feel or the fleece side. Great bit of kit, nice and cheap. Packs down reasonably small, and it is some sort of memory foam, because obviously it does pack down really small. When you give it a shake, it sort of all comes back. So it's either some sort of down memory foam, or could even be synthetic. I'll be honest, again, links for that I'll put on the screen, but it's a nice simple setup, it serves me well. Stove's chugging along nicely. I've put a bit more wood on the fire. I don't know if you can hear that clearly, but the rain has now returned in earnest. I was going to sit outside, have a fire, talk about the tent, things like that. Unfortunately, it doesn't like it's going to be possible. I will give you a walk around of the tent in the morning, hopefully, if the weather clears. If not, I'll do the best I can. But on that note, as an old man once said, it is 5 o'clock somewhere, so we will be having a drink. This is a Henry Weston's again. Some of you may have noticed by now. This is my my weapon of choice. It's a good sort of classics vintage style cider. I really enjoy. It's never bad. So you guys, I'm going to sit here, have a drink, enjoy the rain, keep the stove going, dry everything out, and I'll check back in with you in a little while. Right guys, as you can see, the rain's still going. It doesn't show any signs of clearing up, obviously. Asking you shall receive, as the man said. Yeah, right, the weather doesn't show any signs of clearing up anytime soon, so it does look like I'm confined to the tent for the time being. What I did want to go over with you briefly though, was I normally carry, and alright, you might have noticed I prefer the sort of thing, the little ones attached to my cap. Perks being bald, I wear a cap a lot of the time. So yeah, I normally attach them to the cap. So I've had this this Olight for quite a while. It's nice orange colour, good feel, yeah, everything like that. It's not bad. but recently it has started to flicker sometimes. So I've tried changing batteries, bulbs, that sort of thing, to see if we can do anything. The wiring. So, but what I found instead was what I've got at the moment. So this is a FlexTails offering under an EDC, so obviously an everyday carry. This is rechargeable, which the Olight is not. It also comes with this with quite cool looking armoured EDC case. So it's got the same sort of clip, but this locks into a bigger case. Now, don't get me wrong, this sort of hardened, like I say, it looks cool to me, but I mean, it's personal preference. This sort of style of metal sort of EDC case is almost as heavy as the light itself, so there is going to be some sort of weight there. However, I was walking down to the car just to collect some more wood, and as I was can't down trees here. And my Olight flickered and went off because it might have been out of the rain. Again, whether that's just simply its age or what, I don't know. But luckily enough, I had the FlexTail in my pocket. And I've got to say, between the two, given that they are quite a similar cost, I will put the information for both on the screen. So this is the FlexTail, up on the screen now. And this is the Olight. I'll put that up on the screen now. What I'm going to do, just use this to just be able to show you a bit, is do a quick test comparing the two. So what I'm going to do now is I will cut lights in the tent and fire them both up, and we'll see what we think. There we go. So obviously we are now lights out. I'll start with the Olights. There we go. So pretty bright. Sort of a spotlight function. Pretty bright, you can see from there. So I'll light it myself. Yeah, not too bad at all. Like I say, I've had this for a while. Costs, things will be on the screen. They may be cheaper now, obviously what I paid. If I press the button again, and we're off. Press the button slightly. If I press the button slightly less, there we go. Double click. I get a slightly dimmer spot. So I will put the information for that up on the screen now for the FlexTail. So that's the first mode for the FlexTail. So FlexTail, rather than the Olight has a sort of a pen click on the end. FlexTail is just a straightforward button, but it is a double click to turn it on. Mode 1, click again. Mode 2. Mode 3. And mode 4, that is full power. Now I will say, the FlexTail is more of a sort of a general, what you think of as a head torch, sort of an area light rather than a single spot. It is substantially brighter. Like I say, it doesn't have the range, but over that short distance it's substantially brighter. We also have, if I slide the cover down in the EDC, we have a turbo mode. Then we have a strobe, so apologies if anybody's epileptic. We have a flashing SOS mode as well. There we go, folks. So yeah, like I said, it's quite a bit more impressive than FlexTail. I will say, obviously it has been a while since I bought the Olight, and obviously times do move quickly. Battery life, LEDs, everything sort of batteries things move on quickly, don't they? So, but that being said, between the two, which I know Olight still do sell this model, and obviously the new FlexTail, if you're looking for that sort of area light, which I similar to the headlight like I do, something like that, FlexTail is a very good deal. It wasn't particularly expensive. Like I say, it's personal preference. I mean, you can use it just fine without the case, and it does make it substantially lighter. It's rechargeable through USB-C. I will put all the other sort of general information on the screen, weight, things like that. Predicted battery life. But no, I mean, I have no complaints of that at all. Like I say, my Olight started flickering to go out. That was very good. I easily found the car, easily got the wood. no problem at all, despite complete darkness. So no, it's not a bad little gadget, not a bad little thing at all. Okay guys, on that note, to be honest folks, that's probably going to be it for tonight, and I'll pick this up again in the morning. As I said, the wind's up, it's still raining, it's very wet and cold outside. I could get a fire on, but it'd be very difficult, and obviously you're not really going to be able to hear me. There's not really much I can show you when the weather's this bad. So I think that'll be it for tonight, and I'll catch up with you in the morning. We're going to make some breakfast, we'll go over the tents, I'll give you a bit of feedback on things like waterproofing, things like that. Obviously, I mean, I've used the tent a lot. I've used the tent for years, probably. Obviously, same with the sleep system. It's something I've used a lot of, but I will give you a bit of feedback on it. So, please, if any of you are interested, we'll let you know what I think. But other than that, I think that'll be it for me tonight, guys. So, I'll catch you in the morning. Morning, all. Yeah, it's reasonably early, about 6:30. Yeah, not too bad. I mean, one of the more eventful nights I've had, I suppose. The wind got up really bad. Yeah, the rain seems to have eased off and held up fine, no problems. Right, the wind has got up pretty severely. There is quite pretty strong wind now. I was originally going to cook breakfast on fire outside, so obviously, depending upon the wind, we're going to have to see how we go from there, because that may or may not be possible. You can hear that now. Yeah, we'll have to see where we stand. So what we'll do is I'm going to get myself together, and then as I said, I'll get myself together, and then we'll see where we stand. Well, there we have it, folks. As the man said, almost all good things must come to an end. I think that wraps it up for this morning. I was going to do a bit of breakfast, but unfortunately, I didn't have the best night's sleep, and on top of that, it is very windy. And the unfortunate part of this is knowing when it's best not to do things like that. And I think it's just, unfortunately, it's just too windy for an open fire up here at the moment. So I think we'll have to say that till next time. But I hope you've enjoyed this. As I said, this was my Naturehike hot tent, my outbacker stove, which is perhaps a little big for this tent, but I originally got this for the rock fortress, which is a larger one, Tigris 6-man. Works much better in there. Perhaps it is a little bit big for this tent. Might be worth looking in some sort of lightweight titanium. Maybe the Molly one Tigris do one as well, I believe. Yeah, might be worth something looking to do a test of those. Other than that, obviously I have got other art tents. We have got other tents in general. We will be testing out. Other than that, obviously the Tommy Sleep Out is coming up in March. So that's either going to be hammocks or bivvies, whichever we decide at the time. So we'll let you know what's going on with that. If anybody can donate, it would be greatly appreciated. The link will be in the description. If you don't already know what it is, I will also put the link to their website there as well, and you can take a look. Basically, in a nutshell, it is a charity that does a large amount of work to help out homeless veterans by both helping them out when they are homeless, but also employing them as well. It's obviously a really good avenue, a really good thing to get into. So if you can spare anything, it would be greatly appreciated. Any donations do go directly to the charity. It's not something we're going to touch in any way, shape or form. We are just purely having a bit of fun and trying to make a few quid for them on the side. Okay, folks, I suppose that's it for me. I will see you soon. We've got more stuff coming. We're going to look at do some bushcrafting, some folklore, a couple of hikes, things like that. So yeah, there'll be more things to come. So ideally, like, subscribe, help us out as best you can. I'll see you soon. By the campfire, left big tracks and a half-eaten s'more. Tore through the tents like a drunk barn choir. Slammed one book, then he wanted some more. If anyone asks why the cooler's all clear, tell them Bigfoot stole our beer.